1. China. China is one of the developing countries of East Asia. The population is 1.4 billion, where the world population is 6.8 billion. Namely, every 5 people has one Chinese. The land area is more than 916 kilometers square. China is only 7% of the world land area, but about 22% of the whole world population. The average lifespan is 67.77 in 1981, while in 2010 the number went up to 76, increasing 9 years in 13 years. But before the founding of New China, the average lifespan is 35. The GDP of Japan is $5,474 billion in 2010, whereas the number is $5,878 billion in China, next to America. Forget the high GDP, because China has a large population, 1.4 billion. The per capita GDP is $3,600 and ranks 99th in world, such as calligraph, shadow play, martial art, opera, paper cart, and tea ceremony. There are so many amazing parts in modern China. Now, welcome to Chinatown. Culture. China is a big family which has 56 ethnic groups, and each group has their own language and writing. However, 16% of the population talking Mandarin, a collection of surnames with a long history behind it. And you can also say the inkstone, writing brush, paper, and painting ink. Ink calligraph. A dance flavor of everything in China, such as violin playing, chess, calligraph, and painting. And they are always used for talented scholars and lovely ladies. History. Chinese civilization and 5,000 years. The Silk Road includes both on land and sea, promotes cultural diffusion of Chinese civilization. And from BC 221 to 1921, they experienced 9 times dynasties. What's more, the famous Great Wall was built during this long period. The 8,844.43 meters high mountain Chumulangma is the highest mountain around the world. The Long River together with the Yellow River flow across the west to east of China. And the Beijing to Hangzhou Grand Canal is a wonderful achievement along the history of China. Can you still remember the Japanese War aggression against China last century? More than half of the national land was occupied by the enemy. What a fucking hell of history. Technology. Paper making, campus, gunpowder, typography. No matter where you go, you can always find a label which writes made in China. We're proud of world fans. One cherry, one China. The successfully launched of Shenzhou 7 spaceship shows the fast development of space technology. The population of netizens is 4.5700 million, while the population of mobile netizens is 3.0300 million, increasing from 16.8% to 66.2% of the whole netizen by the end of 2009. But the average speed of internet connection is only 100.9 kb per second, much slower than the average speed 213.4 kb per second of whole world. Education. There are at least 13,000 newborn babies aborted for the reason of sex. The sex rate of birth is 100 to 117, but the rate of sex is 102 to 107 in the world. Young child had at least 10 hours study in school every day. The rate of short-sighted pupil is 22.78%, whereas the middle school student is 55.22%, and the high school student is 17.34%. What's more, the black teenagers caused by short-sighted is 13,000. China has the largest population of undergraduates. There are 613,000 of graduates every year, and the average starting salary is 1,500 yuan per month, while the salary for farmer increased from 700 yuan to 1,200 yuan. The salary gap between graduates and farmer reduced the scope. Why could about the education of college? Drive. Checksum. Graceful curve. There are 3.500 million fat population in China. If males weighs over 90 centimeters, while the female weighs over 85 centimeters, that means we come to the fatty group. The fat people spend 75% of the day for eating, while the standard guys use 21% of the whole day for eating, 18% of the time for study, 45% for doing sports, and 46% for sleep. Having a healthy diet can help losing weight. In last century, we can seldom see a girl wear skirt in hot summer days, but now we could find many skirts, bikini everywhere. The press raising of cotton leads to the press raising of briefs. I think the first guy fighting against the raising press is Superman. Food. Chopsticks are always preparing for Chinese food, and we have 8 different kinds of Chinese meals for you to choose. So today, what to eat? We use 45 billion disposable chopsticks 1 year. Namely, if we produce 1,300 pairs of chopsticks, we need a 20 years tree. In other words, we need cut down 250 million trees and destroy 2 million meters square forests. That's to say, including panda, monkey, and so many treasure animals and plants are endangered. But with 6,192,000 tons of grain, 2,195.7 thousand tons of fruit, and 1,212.1 tons of meat away every year, which can feed up 3.5 million people. But there's still another 10 million hungry people. In other words, there's 1 hungry out of every 7 of us. But Chinese still eat as much as they want. Living. It's a really high income if you can get 916 yuan per month. The lowest earning level in the world is $0.8 per hour, and you can have 1,500 yuan per month. Let's turn to the price of house. The average price is 6,000 yuan for per meter square in home, and you need to buy 600,000 to buy 100 meters square. That's to say, you need to keep working for 35 years without spending any cost for living. But because our country owns the land, you have only 70 years for using the house and can never own it. What's worse, the house built must be demolished after 13 years. Buying a house is the same as renting one. Noticing the raising of the price of house, which used to be a nail household. Economic experts always saying the price of the house will be reduced tomorrow, and you'll find them saying the same words a week later. Anyway, the society becomes more and more better. Do you think so? Transportation. Some of the people are used to going out to buy food because they think it's the easy way for being healthy. But I think riding bike is also a clever choice. Moreover, there's still plenty of people prefer going out by bus. There are 22 cities that into time for underground and necessary for daily life. There are more and more people in China buying private car, and the number is 1,500,000. There are more than 300,000 traffic accidents happen every year, and more than 8,000 people die for that. Each one of the traffic accidents happens in 29 kilometers square out of the whole 916 kilometers of China. The cost for buying cars for government is more than 316 billion in 2009. There are over 700,000 cars for government in Beijing and take a place of 15% of the whole cost there. We spend 80,000 to 100,000 yuan for government cars every year, but if you check the record of the cars, the most words you will say is no. We prefer to spend New Year's Day with families, number of passengers is 2.9 million by plane, 13.2 million by ship, 22.9 million by car, and 28.53 million by railway. Among the total population of Europe, what a huge way for people's migrate. Well, this is China. Is there any different from that you saw before? It will make a new and more complete China. But the difference in New China is where the one half dream.